Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Let's Play series. I think this is episode 11, I think? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, so, I've done a lot of resource gathering off camera, and then I also did some on stream as well, because I thought that would be a little bit fun. But it's all for a super massive project that we're gonna get started on today and probably not finish, but we'll see how far we get and where I decide to call it quits for this episode. So, this project is actually the museum that I have talked about since the first episode, I think, but decided to put it off because we didn't need it yet. And in all honesty, we're still a little bit off of actually needing it, but I wanted to get something in some of our empty land that's just way past the village over there. I talked about it on stream, trying to figure out a good spot for where it should go, and I decided that the best spot for it would probably be on the other side of the village, because I planned for the museum to be quite large, and there just wasn't enough space anywhere else unless I were tearing down hills. Because I did bring it up as an option that we could tear down this hill right there, and we could put the museum just on the other side of the village right there. But in all honesty, I think that it would just be a lot easier to put it over there, and it would take up some of the very, very empty space that we have over there. And because it's quite flat, it'll make things a lot easier. So, pretty much everything that I have going on over here right now is also the resources that I'll need for it, because I'm still not done gathering resources, and I've been gathering resources for about 3 days now. Albeit I've been taking a bit of time in between each resource gathering session because had stuff to do. As of right when I'm recording this very part, I've officially finished all of my entire schooling for this school year. Not this actual year, but either way, I am officially on my break now. I'll be on break for about 3 to 4 months, most likely. So yeah, pretty fun. Have more time to make videos. Anyways, so yeah, all this is just a bunch of resources, a bunch of copper, and this is still not enough. Like, this is all that we have, and it's still not enough. Though it won't be kept in this form, it'll be kept in the whatever form, the one where it gives you like 4 blocks from one piece. I don't know what it's called. I was just waiting for it to age first, so it'll be a little bit easier. But I'll be using that form. And then if we go over here, I've just got some sheep set up for getting some wool right here and right there. That's all the colors that we'll need for this build for wool wise. And then right here I just have some stuff set up for getting some of the what are they called? Mycelium, the blue nether block. The one that's right there, so I could get some of that, because I need some other color variations, and I don't think I'll be able to get enough copper, so I'm making some adjustments in my original build plan. And then in addition to all of that, we also have a whole bunch of acacia going on over here. I've been gathering it up as I go. Of course, I don't have any in my inventory when I'm going to show it. But I've been gathering it up for a little while, and then we'll just go over to our stack of stuff. All of these shulkers are filled with stuff that I need, so we've got a whole bunch of stone, some tuff, more stone, some deep slate, more stone, some stone, and warped wart block. Okay, some acacia, more stone, deep slate, some gravel, some sand, more sand, because I still need to make some concrete, so I just had brought those over here. And then I'll need some other blocks as well, but I think for right now, for this specific episode, we just kind of get the base for everything set out, and then any smaller details and stuff we'll add on to the next episode, because quite frankly, I don't know how long this is going to take me to build, so I could end up being here for 5 or 6 hours building, possibly even more. This is a really big project, and I wouldn't be surprised if I ran out of resources halfway through, and then we have to do more resource gathering. So I just want to see what we can get done in this episode, and then move on other stuff to the next episode. So, why don't we get started on some building? Okay, so I'm about halfway-ish through just the base kind of structure of it. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with the way it's looking so far. There's definitely a lot of things that I'm still needing to do, obviously. Look at it, it's, well, empty. Very, very empty. So, we're gonna sleep first. So while I was finishing up some of these towers on the other side, actually when I had gotten to the very first one, I was working on this one, I noticed that the circle up like on above here wasn't actually in the same spot as it is on this first one that I did here. This one is actually one block in more than all of the rest of them, because there's 3 others. Let me just stand in the middle and maybe you'll be able to see it. So look at those 3, those are all the same, and that one slightly smaller, same height, slightly smaller. It's right there. So I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. Originally I was just going to fix this one, and then I could do the same plan that I was originally gonna do for the roof, but then I was like, actually I kind of like it a little bit wider. There's something about it that I like a little bit more than that. So I'm gonna have to push that one out a little bit more. So I'm gonna have to tear that down and rebuild it, but that's not that big of a deal. And then we can get started on the roof. I'm doing the roof before I do any of the other major structures in this, because the roof is actually going to be one of the more important pieces for this, and that is because it's going to be almost entirely out of glass. And that was a super last minute change that I decided I was going to make when I thought that it would just be nice to get some nice colorful glass in here. So I'm gonna have to do some trading to get some glass, because there's no way I'm using all of the sand that I have for concrete here, because I have 2 shulkers, or maybe it's 3, I don't know. And I don't particularly want to go back to the desert. It's fairly far away, and I still don't have a creeper farm, which means all my rockets are coming from me just killing creepers at night. And quite frankly, I don't want to waste all my rockets on going to the desert for that. And because I have so many emeralds, I might as well just trade and get glass that way. But it means I'll have to get a whole bunch of dye. And I think I'm gonna kind of make it like a little mosaic type of glass color roof thing. I don't know. I haven't really figured it out that much yet. I just know that I want colorful glass as a way to bring in more color to this build, because it's very gray and it's going to stay pretty gray. There's some lighter blocks, more colorful blocks that I will add in with the smaller details when I get to that part. But for now, it's just very gray. And I'd like some more color in there. So we're gonna do a little bit of a side quest and go get a whole bunch of dyes and a whole bunch of glass, and then we can move on to that before we continue actually doing more building on here. I actually realized after I had already gotten the time-lapse and put it in here so I could edit it, that I actually completely removed the time-lapse where I did the full roof. So there's no time-lapse of me doing the actual glass part of the roof. We're just gonna cut and the roof is gonna be there. So have fun with that. Okay, so this is what we've got going on for the roof here. I decided to just do 2 colors for simplicity's sake, and that's what they look like on the inside. I'm gonna fill in this part with deep slate, and then in that little center square there, I think I'm gonna actually put a tower, like support, I guess. Just so the roof looks a little bit more stable, I'm gonna put a tower or something. It's gonna go from the floor in the center here all the way up, and then I think if I put a second story in here, which I might, I can put like a spiral staircase around that. But I'm not quite sure yet. I want to wait and see what I decide to, like how exactly I decide to do the inner circles here, as well as the towers on the outside here, because these are going to be towers. I just want to adjust them a little bit. But let's go a little ways away, actually. Let's do this. And we'll get a good view from afar. And like it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. And we'll look at the roof from top here. I like that. I think it's really good. I also particularly chose pink and red because those are like my colors. So it just like felt right to do. And then I'll go, it looks really cool in the distance, so we'll go over to where my house is and then we'll take like a little peek over there. Yeah, in the distance here, it looks super cool. I am really liking how it looks so far. Obviously, it'll look a little bit better once I fill in the little half circles there and get something going, and then also am adding more details onto the actual pillars themselves. But like, it's looking pretty good. It looks a little awkward, it being the only very large build we have over in that area. I think it would look a little bit more natural over here because we have other builds, but once I get more builds over in this section here, it should look pretty cool. But that's what we're working on so far, and all of this has so far taken me about 4 hours to do. I started working on this at about 11 a.m. ish, and it is 3 p.m. right now. Ow, Jesus. It's about 3 p.m. right now. So, and we still have so much more to do. Thankfully, I don't have anything else I need to do today, so I can dedicate the rest of my day to this. but there is no guarantee I'll be able to get all of this done in this one session. I think I might have to split it up into 2 days of working on this. But we'll see. Either way, I'm liking how it's going so far. It's probably one of my favorite builds that I've done. Like, large scale builds that I've done as of right now. There are some things that I'm definitely still gonna work on. Like, it's still very gray, even with the color roof. It's still very gray, so I'm definitely gonna add some more to that. But either way, it's looking good so far, and I'm pretty happy with the way it's going out. So I guess we'll just continue working. Okay, so I have most of it built. Most of it. This is what we have. Honestly, I am happy with the way it turned out. Genuinely, it other than a few minor details, it's almost completely different from the original design that I had. But honestly, that's okay because it turned out so much better than I thought it would. I'm still not done. I still have some smaller details I want to do for the outside, and then we'll just take a little peek on the inside here. It's, well, nowhere near done. Not even close. So I'm gonna have to do that still, and I think I'm gonna do that in the next episode, split it up into 2, just for the sake of my sanity, because I have over 12 hours of footage for this episode, and I usually average around 4 hours of footage. So I quite frankly don't want to add any more footage onto there for me to have to edit down, because that is so much footage and I can't mentally handle all of that. So this is what we have right now. In the time lapses, you can probably see that I do a lot of tearing down and then building back up with different blocks or whatever. It's because a lot of what I was doing was just figuring out along the way. A lot of this circle stuff, this half circle, I didn't really know what I was gonna do. I just knew that it looked plain, so I built things, tore things down, especially on these pillars. I had originally a completely different roof for these pillars planned out, but I wasn't liking the way it was turning out, so I decided to just scrap that and go with a flat roof and then see if I liked that, and if I didn't, I could change it over time. But honestly, I think it looks a lot better just like this. And then you can probably see on the little towers here that they're very different from what was originally there for most of the time lapse, I suppose. Very, very different. It was too solid, and everything else that I was doing I wasn't liking quite enough. So I decided I would just put some windows in there, and it would add a little bit more color, and I wanted more pink. I have in the roof, we have some red. That one's red and that one's red, and then those two are pink. And I was thinking that I could do kind of like a stained glass design type of thing, but I just couldn't think of a design that I particularly liked. So I just went with all pink for now, and then if I want to, I can change it later to a mural that will probably be pink and red just to tie in the two colors. But for now, I think it's honestly pretty good. Like, I think it's fine the way it is. I was originally gonna have little balconies on it, but I felt like that was just doing a little bit too much for the towers when I didn't want the focal points to be the towers. I just wanted them to be a little addition that just looks nice for it. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking for those. And then I wanted to come up with like a little design here, and I couldn't think of like a good large design that I could fit into this one spot, because I wanted to do a flower, specifically cherry blossoms, because those are my favorite flowers. But I couldn't think of a good design that fit in there. So originally I just had, let's go up. I just had this circle bit right here, and then the 4 petals on the outside, but it looked too empty in comparison to all this white space. So I started playing around with some of the little designs on the end here, but everything that I tried just didn't look quite right. There was always something off about it, so I just tried these little like plus signs, and honestly it looks pretty good. I like it. I think I might add a little bit of like red around, but the wool was taking forever for me to get, and I needed wool for other parts of my build. You can see up there I used wool as well, so it was just taking too long, and I decided I'd just put that off, and that could wait until I do the final touches on the whole build. And yeah, so I still have to do like terraforming. I'm gonna do a whole custom terraforming, and then a whole bunch of like custom trees and some nice smaller details to add on to it. But I just want to get the actual build done first before I start adding all of this stuff, just so I can get a feel for what exactly I want to do for the layout on the outside with everything in the background, and you can just kind of see the other builds there. It really makes everything look so nice and visually appealing, and it also really shows how big the museum is in comparison to the trading hall, which was quite large. But when you look at it like this, and I mean, obviously the trading hall is gonna look a little bit smaller, it's further away, but like, you can still get a feel for how much bigger the museum is in comparison to the trading hall. But you can just feel what it's going to be, like what it's gonna look like when you just look at it like this. You can, like, the trees in the surrounding area definitely help add to it, but yeah. So I'm genuinely so happy with how it's turned out so far, and like I said, not done. Still so much more to add, but I just have so much footage that it's gonna take me forever to edit through, and I don't want to be editing for a million years, so we're not gonna be doing really anything else. So yeah, this is where I'm going to call it for today's episode. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next episode, where we'll hopefully finish this up. And we'll see how long that takes. And then maybe we'll start a new project. Though probably not. Also, if I'm going to continue doing longer projects like this, we're probably going to go longer between episodes. So kind of give me your feedback if you want to do more time-consuming projects and then fit them all into one episode, or if you want to split up these projects into multiple episodes and then we can get them out sooner. So yeah, just kind of let me know what you want to see and I'll do it. So yeah, thanks for watching.